Now, the first in a pair of stories this week on what some schools are doing to make sure students don't lose ground during the summer. The NewsHour special correspondent for education, John Merrow, reports about efforts in Rhode Island to reduce the academic gap between the wealthy and the poor.
Summer is a time when some kids get to go to camp, travel with their families, explore museums. It's also a time when social and economic inequalities are evident. Many children in low-income communities miss out on these stimulating opportunities. They spend summer break in their neighborhood, hanging out. This difference in summer experiences has serious consequences. Educators call it summer learning loss. Children who don't have stimulating summer experiences forget more of the math and reading skills they need to do well in school. By the time summer ends, the achievement gap between rich and poor is actually wider than it was in June. So, is summer school the answer?
When kids hear summer school, they hear loser, failing, more school in an air-conditioned building.
Typically, summer remediation programs are held in the classroom. Students complete worksheets and practice math and reading skills for hours at a time. In many districts, including Providence, Rhode Island, this type of learning wasn't working.
We could have remediation till the cows came home, and one, substantial numbers of kids didn't attend, and two, it wasn't effective.
Providence is trying to change that by turning summer school into an experience that supports classroom learning and excites students. This summer, 716 low-income students enrolled in Summer Scholars, a 4-week program for middle school students. The program, which includes transportation and 2 meals a day, is free for kids, but costs about $1,200 per student. About half of the money comes from private sources, and the school district funds the rest.
It can't hurt, right? No.
At a time when 20% of districts across the country have eliminated summer school, Providence has redirected its summer remediation funds and is trying something different. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders spent 2 mornings a week in the field with an instructor from a local organization like Save the Bay and a teacher from the district who ensures that students are practicing skills they struggled with during the year and will need in the fall.
26 PPT.
In the afternoons, it's back to the classroom. There, teachers like Matthew Pierce create lessons to help students deepen their understanding of concepts they learned in the field.
You have to work to keep their attention, especially at this middle school to early high school level. They'll just shut down on you if you don't do something fun and get them engaged.
We're gonna add salt and see if it will make it float.
Oh!
So if you add salt, make it dense enough, it'll float.
Students worked collaboratively in the field and then applied what they learned back in the classroom to solve complex problems. This is what educators call deeper learning. The Summer Scholars Program is a partnership between the school district and 30 local organizations like the Zoo, the YMCA, and the Audubon Society. Public schools often work alone, but Providence has been building these relationships for years.
This is the knotweed. What we're trying to do is to get rid of it, let it know it's not taking over here.
We'll start right here.
Today, students are learning about invasive species. Rick Taylor has been teaching in Providence for 17 years.
I think on a very basic level, we could say that they're just pulling weeds. But in reality, they're also learning concepts that they can bring back into school during the school year that will help them. Terms like biotic, abiotic. What's the difference between an environment and a habitat? You could read about that in a textbook, or you can actually go into the field and learn it firsthand. I think that firsthand experience, actually doing it, makes a dramatic difference.
We do math, like circumference, diameter, but we have fun with it because you get to explore outside instead of like sitting inside and having your teacher teach you about it and you still don't know how to like do it.
Hands-on learning is actually not a new idea. John Dewey wrote about it over 100 years ago. Montessori schools do it every day. But it's appearing now in Providence because educators here were not happy with the results they've been getting using traditional teaching. This district doesn't have terrific scores.
We have horrible scores.
Don't your kids need remediation instead of this summer fun?
I think the kind of drill and remediation that might lead to a temporary bump in scores is not the kind of education that really any parent wants for his or her child.
I think that's a branch from a tree. I don't think we're going to get that out. What I've seen is a tremendous amount of growth very quickly in children. Kids are more actively involved and engaged. This program is very different from the traditional classroom setting.
Well, it's kind of like school because we're learning about stuff, and at the same time, we're having a lot of fun.
I found a web. I found a web.
Superintendent Lucy says programs like this are one way to level the playing field.
There are students who never leave Providence or maybe even their neighborhood. And I think people underestimate what the experiences and interactions that middle-class children tend to have, how that equips kids to engage with education. So this is a thoughtful, organized, but very fun way to provide those types of opportunities. The evaluation shows that students who attended these programs had better engagement in their classes and better grades, particularly in math.
Okay.
In the afternoon, students participate in activities like basketball, computers, art, and dance. It may have felt like camp to some, but even these activities incorporated learning into the fun. And students weren't the only ones having fun at school.
I'm learning to relate to children in a much different way. I like the way that I've been able to interact with them. It's very different from what I would do in a normal setting.
I've had teachers say to me, you know, we need to figure out a way to make school look more like this. I think we have to get better and better at giving kids opportunities to apply their learning in ways that are interesting as well as informative.
The obvious goal of the Summer Scholars Program is to curb summer learning loss. But this way of teaching might change the way Providence schools approach teaching and learning all year long.
Tomorrow night, we head across the country to Seattle, where a nonprofit group is using summer school to achieve an even higher goal, getting students through high school and college.